Hello guys, welcome back. So this is the multi-tracking section of the E-drum. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to do the multi-tracking of the E-drums. Okay, so in doing this, there are two steps in doing that. Okay, is either you're going to use a MIDI recording or you're going to do audio recording, or you can even do both of them. Okay, and in this discussion, I'm going to use the Ableton Live. Okay, I'm using this because the door balances between a Mac and then the Windows, and then its routing is kind of easy to understand. Okay, so I'll just teach you these things and then you're out of here. The third video or the third lesson will be about recording or playing your E-drum using your one-shot samples. So it will be for the MIDI recording the audio, having multi-tracks like we are doing for acoustic drum, and then also using your drum samples. Okay, so that is that. Now, to do that, you just need your E-drum, obviously, and then the module. Okay, so you can see from the module we have a MIDI out. Okay, so a MIDI out, and then I'll get my printer cable or my MIDI cable. So the other end of my MIDI cable goes into the E-drum, and then the USB will go into my device or my recording. In this case, use my laptop. Okay, but I'm using the Yo drum. The Yo drum uses the Type C. So it's just a Type C cable to a USB cable. So I'll just connect that to my device. Somebody will ask, why is my sound card? You don't necessarily need to have a sound card before you can use an E-drum, but it is a requirement just to have a free movement of your machine so that the sound card can just drive the sound whilst your machine does the other things of the work. Okay, so we'll go into Ableton Live and then I'll dive into that. Now we are in the Ableton Live right now. You all know when you open Ableton for the very first time, you have 4 channels. You have 2 audio channels and then 2 MIDI channels. Okay, so our lesson 1 is how to get or how to play our E-drums through a DAW. Okay, number 1, you need an external plugin. It can either be a drum plugin, whether from Contact, from Easy Drummer, from MultiTrack, which is Manda Audio, or any other. So I'll go to plugins and then I'll select Manda Audio. I'm going to use the MultiTrack and I'll load it onto the MIDI and now it opens. So this is the interface of the drum plugin, and then let me test it out if it is responsive. Okay. Alright, everything is just responding. I said that your drum is dual zone. My drum I use in the house is also dual zone. So if I hit this, you can see it's beeping on the device or on the plugin. Just that the plugin I haven't allocated any external plugin or any external tones for this particular side of the E-drum. Okay, so that is that. So I can have a tom here and I can assign, let's say, a cowbell to this side. I'll just do that all in the Ableton. Now, in E-drums, you can also have the ability to interchange notes. So I can assign a hi-hat and make it sound like a kick. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'll just go to the settings of the plugin, and then these are the mappings. So I can just change the mapping. So right now, if I hit the MIDI lane, if I hit kick, it is playing. Okay, then what if I want to assign let me do that for the snare so that you can know what I'm talking about. So you see, this is also playing for a snare, but hypothetically this is supposed to be the side stick of the snare. So what I'm going to do is I'll hit on the MIDI lane and I'll select the side stick and I'll hit this. Now the device is telling me that the side stick is 40, which is note E1. So I'll just change this. It has alerted that the side stick has also been alerted to be 4 size to the note 40, which is the EI. Then I'll go and delete this. Okay, and I'll keep this. So right now I have my ring and I also have my snare. So let's say snare is this. My side stick will be for this, and then I'm going to save. I'll just turn off the MIDI lane and I'm good to go. So I can have this. I can also do same for this. So if I want the side stick to be on this device, I'll just hit that, click MIDI lane, and then then I can switch that. So you can see, I'll just come back and delete this MIDI lane. Okay, then I hit this. So right now you can see I'm playing the side or the rim of the tom. However, it is sounding the side stick of the snare. That is how the E-drum really works. So I just revert everything to how it was, and then we'll go back to factory settings. Okay, great. So we are back to default settings. Let me go back to MIDI lane, do this. All right, and then we are good to go. Now we have the E-drum. How do I record this? You can either record this once as a single line of play. So if I want to record, if I record this, I'm recording this as a MIDI. And you can see it's recording in the Ableton, right? So in this case, these are recording as MIDI files or MIDI notes. And then you can just go in there and then edit some of the notes, whether when they are loud, you can change them to, if they are accents, you can change them to ghost notes, depending on the velocity ranges you want, and a whole lot. So that is that for the MIDI. Now, what if I want to have, an audio recording from the MIDI? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do a routing. Okay, so the routing will be from the MIDI section to the audio tracks. So I'm going to use all these audio tracks. So let me create more audio tracks and label it, and then I'll get back to that. So creating more audio tracks and then renaming. So I'll delete this. Let me rename this as kick. So kick, snare, hat, high tom, mid tom, floor tom, and let's say cymbals. I didn't add side stick, so let's say side stick. Okay. So I have these tracks. Now in the Ableton, I can route the channels from this place to this. So I'll go back into the DAW, okay? Because I want to have a multi-track, and I'll go back into the DAW, and then I'll change the routings. Now you can see that from here in the mixer, all these outputs are on channel 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Okay, so I'll just change everything from here. Okay, so I'm going to do that. So the kick, because the 1 and 2 is for the main left and right, or the first 1 and 2 channel of the main out, I will not do that. So the kick will be for channel 3 and 4. Then the snare, channel 5 and 6. Side stick also channel 5 and 6 if I'd want to. Hi-hat 7 and 8, hi-hat open 7 and 8. The first one was hi-hat close. Then high tom will be for 9 and 12. Mid is 9 and 10, 9, 11 and 12, and then 13, 14, and all the cymbals will be for channel 15 and 16. Alright. So in this case, I've just changed all the output from channel 1 and 2 to individual tracks. Okay. So all the channel 15 and 16 all will be for the right. Then I'll come to the audio channels. Okay. Yeah. The external in, where is the audio coming from? I'll just have to configure it from the external plugin, which is in this case will be the MT Power Kit, and then I'll hit the post mixer. If I play the particular instrument, okay, you can see Ableton has notified that I just play the channel 3 and 4. So in this particular channel for the kick, I'll select channel 3 and 4. So if I play this, it will be coming from here. Okay, I'll activate the record button, and then you can see right now the kick is beeping on its own channel. If I play the snare, it's not beeping up in this channel. It is in its respective channel. It's just playing in the channel in the plugin that I set it. Okay, so I'll do that for individual channels. Here, external in will be from the MT Power Kit. Then post mixer, I'll just place this, and then I have channel 7 and 8 for snare. So it can be auto or in, and so I just activate the recording button, and now I have snare. So I have these two channels being routed, and I'm going to do that for individual channels. So external in, empty power kit, side stick, also be check for channel. Let me see, 5 and 6, right? I'll activate this. So this will record in its own channel. It's also record in its own channel. Right. So I'm going to do that for hi-hat. Sorry, I'm in a rush. Hit hi-hat from channel 7 and 8. Put it on auto. I'll activate the recording button. Great. I go to high tom. External in will be from the empty power kit, is a plugin, and then place this monitor on auto. Then I hit the tom, and then it's from 9 and 10. 9 and 10. And then I activate the recording button. It is active now. Next, empty power kit, auto. Next will be 11 and 12. Okay. And I have this. Floor tom. External in will be from the empty power kit. Monitor in is on auto. I hit the floor tom on channel 13 and 14. Then I activate this. And then the symbols, the rest of the symbols will be on channel 15 and 16, like I said. So auto and channel 15 and 16. Okay. Let me activate this. So right now, if I want to record, okay, if I hit record right now and I'm playing, you can see all the channels are activated and I can play. So if I zoom back into this, you can see that you now have audio channels being recorded out of a MIDI track. Okay, so these are the things you are recorded, and you can just export this individually, send it to somebody for the person to make a master for you. So that is how to do that multi-tracking thing. You just get an external plugin, which is a MIDI file, route its channels into audio tracks, and then record. In this case, if you play any accent or ghost notes, it's going to be recorded as such. Okay, unlike the MIDI session where you play an accent, you can just go in there and change the velocity ratio and make it as a ghost note or a ghost note. So that is that. The second video is on how to do the tracking or playing of the drum using the drum or the short samples. In this case, we are going to use I'm going to restart the live. We are going to use the drum rack like we used for the cues thing. Okay, so I won't save this. I'll just delete everything. So yes, I'm back. Again, the MIDI section. I'll go back to drums, drag an empty drum rack onto this device, and then I'll have my drums here. How do I notice the notes of the drum? I just have to play them one by one. Okay, so I can see snare is on D1, the rim is on E1, like we did for the other one. Kick should be on C1. Kick is on C1. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to have individual drum racks. So I'll just duplicate these things. Okay, and then probably rename it. So I can rename like I renamed for the other one. I'll go to kick, snare, hat, high tom, mid tom, and let's say floor tom, and then cymbals, right? And I can delete these things from there. I can delete my audio. I can rename this one as stems so that I can put my stems into these scenes. So I'll go into my folder where I have my drum samples. Okay, so I'll just click this and I'll have this. So in this section, I'm going to have my my one-shot drum samples. Okay, so I'll go in there, look for kick sample. I place it on the kick sample. So if I hit this, right now the kick is routed to this channel. Okay, and I'm going to do the other one too for snare. So I'll just hit on snare. Snare is for, I'm going to open this. Let me go to this place. Yeah. Snare is on D1. So I just take one sample, place it on the snare, D1. Now I have kick and then snare, and then I'll go on and do the rest. Okay, so hit this, kick on hi-hat, and then where is hi-hat? I don't think I have hi-hat here. I don't have hi-hat. Okay, well, I can go into Ableton's the stock plugins, the samples, and I'm probably going to choose hi-hat somewhere. Let me see if I had go to one shot. Okay, so I'll just go and place it on. Let me see this. It's on A#1. Okay, so I'll bring this here. So I have this. So I'll just do that for all the other instruments, and then I'll just record. Just that when you're using the one-shot samples, the disadvantage is that you might not have the feel. So you just have to come into the sample itself, double click on this, come into the sample itself, then you can change some of the velocity ranges, the fade in, the fade out, and then its transparency, and then transport system. You can change its warping and do a whole lot of things, and you can also add your EQs to individual channels and then record. So this is how you record your E-drums in multi-track like you do for acoustic. If there is any question you want to ask, leave in the comment section and then I'll respond to that. It has been an awesome time teaching you this, and I hope this thing blesses you enough. See you on the next content. Bye bye.